Hello, this is Crypto CJ. It's the trade of the day, Monday night Zoom edition, and we are suffering through the aftermath of the FTC or FTX implosion. That's been frustrating. It's knocked crypto down throughout the whole crypto sphere. I'm not going to talk about it too much because other people have talked about it, and I canceled my Zoom on Friday for the holiday, so. That would have been the time to talk about it, but we can go ahead and check out how Bitcoin and some of the other coins are doing at this time. So go ahead and share my screen. And you folks should be seeing my Bitcoin day chart.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
And we blasted down through this lower support I had drawn. We'd been hanging above this since June. So took about 4 months or 5 months to get through it. And we got all the way down to 15.9. We did have a green close on Thursday, then 3 straight red candles. We just closed the Monday candle up, so I guess that's a little encouraging. We're at 16.6 now. It's been hanging around 16.2, 16.5 most of the day, trending up a little bit now. So what the FTX implosion has done is take away some. Crypto is already a volatile space, and this just makes it appear even more volatile. It's probably going to scare away the institutions and some of the whales who want to come in with probably other people's money. Now, people who invest their own money will buy the dip, but you have to answer to other people. That's not as easy to do. But anyway, I digress. So pretty much all the tokens took a pretty serious dive in the last week or so. And let's see, we got Bitcoin from Saturday the 4th, in about a week's time, went down over 25%. Ethereum fared a little better. It is still in the range. It's still above 1,000. It dipped down to 1,100 a couple times, but bounced back to over 1,200. So it seems to be more resilient. It doesn't really surprise me with more of a use case than Bitcoin. Ethereum tends to be bought and sold a lot more. So I guess that's a little bit of good news in this dark time. So if you're a hodler, or a longer term swing trader, this is a sort of a buy the dip opportunity. I really looked for dips on like a 4-hour chart, but yeah, it's kind of a big dip here and then a bounce up. So not sure if the 1, 2, 3 dip would necessarily apply on this large of a time frame, but I was just kind of curious. I hadn't looked at it that way yet. So Ethereum hanging in there. Bitcoin dropped hard, but hanging around 16, 16.5. You can check out the news if you want. It's mostly bad.
See that little rise here last night. Which chart are you on at the moment? You're on the day
Chart, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it
Sorry,
did
not relevant.
bounce up to
But
17.
that's looking like a Bart Simpson pattern there before it went down.
Mm-hmm.
That high.
Yeah. Yeah, Craig's talking about the Bart Simpson head look.
Yeah.
Then it went so. All right. Any questions or comments about Bitcoin or Ethereum in general? I'm struggling to figure out how I want to trade this. I tried to do some of my usual short, 5-minute, 3-minute scalping, things like that, and didn't go well. So considering doing alerts on a longer time frame. You guys know I like my 15-minute alerts on indicators, but I'm not sure if that's going to be the bet. That I may need a longer time frame than that. Okay, let's if there's nothing else, we'll move over to Altcoin Alert and at least identify some things that are moving and try to figure out where we can get good entries. Okay. So I'm on the Altcoin Alert radar. Easy mode is off. Sort by AA score. And Bitcoin's #1. That can't be right. All right, there we go. Yeah, it's got some of these coins I don't haven't heard. MFT, Bella, I've traded a couple times in the past. I don't know if that's been even this year. I'm really interested about Crow. FTX has obviously filed bankruptcy, and then Crypto.com has been in the news too for some negative reasons. And I got a little bit of money on that, so I'm trying to get it out, just based on some of the things I've been seeing, just to be safe if nothing else. I made the mistake of holding something on an exchange. I was staking a small amount of Bitcoin and Crow over there, and then forgot about it. So, don't I have some money over there?
And what about KuCoin, CJ? I recall hearing someone say that, you know, if we had some stuff on KuCoin, we should remove it. And I can't remember where that was. I think it was CryptNation, but
yeah,
and
it was CryptNation. They said to get it off KuCoin.
Yeah, and their position's going to be more aggressive than usual to get your funds off centralized exchanges. And I keep some USDT on those to trade, and some USD on Coinbase for the same reason. But otherwise, I don't keep anything I'm holding on a centralized exchange. So that's been something that's been drilled into my head for a couple of years now, and I hope you guys would follow the same, the same way.
Yeah. Well, I've got a question because I've got some coins that I bought ages ago on there, and then need to move them. So would MetaMask be a safe place to move them to hold them? Because you've got your own keys to MetaMask.
Yeah,
so
I
it
think
is
that.
a wallet, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's less likely to go under, but there's even some. I saw some headlines about MetaMask. I didn't read the article. So since it's usually connected for trading purposes. If you're sure you're holding it, I'd put it in like Exodus or a hard, as a software wallet at the minimum, and then maybe a hard wallet, Trezor or Trevor or whatever they call that thing.
Trezos, yeah. I don't have a hard wallet, but I do have some other ones. But I was thinking MetaMask was a reasonable wallet because of it. You do hold the keys. You own the keys.
Yes, it's way better than a centralized exchange. So, but you might want to do a Google search for MetaMask
It's like
safety.
it's not enough really to worry about.
Then don't worry about it. So
probably $200 or $300.
Okay.
So I'm not, but I'm still thinking. Oh, I still might move it off KuCoin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold anything on those. So that reminds me,
Okay.
I'm holding a few things on Coinbase I want to trade. I bought them to trade, and then they went down, and I guess that's sort of still trading, so I'll probably leave those there. Okay, so I was shorting FTT like 6 or 7 times in a row, and you'd think that would be very profitable, but it wasn't, because it would spike up. I would go down, then spike up, then go down a lot, then spike up some. And I got caught in some of those spikes, and then my last 2 or 3 were successful, and then it was delisted from Bybit. I mention that because if Crypto.com is going through some similar drama, you can maybe do something like that, but it's really risky, and definitely use stop losses. So, I mean, on the super trend on the 5-minute chart, I would probably do this on the 15, maybe even the 30. Let's look at the super trend on the 30. And yeah, I mean, you get this buy here, and if you get in right away, I mean, all the other indicators look pretty good, but then it drops. The 15-minute chart, that's a it's a 14% drop, but then it goes up, 16%. So, wow. And how do you do that on leverage? You probably want to keep it real low, say 5% at the highest. Even that's risky. On the sell here, you think it's coming down, but then wow, you're up, 16% again. So it's really risky here on the 30. Maybe the 15 would be better after all, because the movements wouldn't be as much. So you take this sell here, you get 4.7, which is really good. If you're on 5x leverage, it's 20%. And then move your stop loss into profit. After you go down 1 or 2%, which would be the profitable move. And then if it takes you out, so be it. And then this buy here, shot up really well, 20% and this one's controversial. So, yeah, Frank's mentioning MetaMask has a lot of scammers that like to trick newbies. That's true. They'll drop something into your account. You don't even know what it is, and then you follow up on it. Next thing you know, it's drained or something like that. I've seen some horror stories on MetaMask. But I have one and I use it, so I just ignore anything that I didn't initiate. Anyway, back to Crow. So just be careful if you're going to trade this one. And if we're looking for divergence, this is the mini indicators. It's alert friendly, which I like, but it does repaint. So I did re-add the multiple divergences here, which does not repaint. So like it has this one here, which is not as good of an entry as this. So what I like to do is I'll set my alert on this and then see if there's something close to it to justify it. That's pretty far away. Not sure what I would do with that. But in retrospect, it was a good alert because boom, 15% down. Like this is what I'm looking for. I get this one here, and then that one was just ahead of it. So yeah, big move. I'm curious about this. I'm itching to do something on it, but it's so risky. The Cowboys coming out. So anyway, both divergence and the super trend had some good trades on Crow. So use your alerts as we discussed, and I'd say lower if you're using leverage, make it low and use stop losses. So this is not something you'd want to ladder buy. Okay, any questions on Crow before we look at something else? Okay, another one that showed up was Raven Coin. I was looking at this a little while ago, and the Elder Impulse was bullish then. It's bearish now. AA score is still pretty good, so since I have it up, we'll go ahead and check it out. Okay, on the 5, mostly going sideways today. Let's go to the 15. Let's get rid of that. And divergence first. Looks like yeah, this coin's a little more stable than Crow. So even though we got into early on this, it does make a nice move. 4%, though I don't know, depending on what my leverage is, if I would have been stopped out on that one. I've been using the super trend more than divergence. So let's look at that. Yeah, that's pretty good there. Yeah, 6% move there. You know, 6% there. You know, 2 there. This one we don't know yet. So the last 3 super trend moves, this one probably would have been a loss depending on, you'd have had, you know, 3 out of 4 profitable trades. So that's pretty good. What if we go a longer time frame on this? Yeah, I was looking at longer time frames for divergence, but not for the super trend. So these have been pretty good. That one not so much. That sell was good. That sell was good. That buy was good. The sell's not good. So about 60% on this approach. When you're talking percents, what really matters is what your profit is. So if you do 60%, your profits are 1%, and your 40% losses are 5% each, then that's not so good. So money management is usually the key in those situations. Okay, any questions on Raven and the super trend? Right, let's see. We can sort by the elder impulse, which is a technical indicator. I like to match these up with the long-term sentiment, which is what people are talking about on Twitter. So when those match up, that's usually worth checking out more. I saw this morning, and so Didix is one I've been following. Let's check that one out. I'll leave that one up. The 5 had a really nice move up this morning, which I bought too high and then got stopped out. So that one didn't go so well for me. On the 15-minute chart for our indicators, let's look at divergence first. Yeah, these look pretty good. Yeah, this one's a little too soon, but this one did nicely. This one, even though they look like small moves on the 15-minute chart, this is a pretty volatile coin. You know, small move is 3%. It's a pretty good day trade. Might want to go with lower leverage if you're using it. And, you know, big move there. This one did okay, 3%. And then that one's come down even more. It looks like there's a one forming, you know, on this candle here, which just triggered 7 minutes ago. Well, I want to check that out and see if it closes, if that stays. And let's see what our non-repaint tells us. It's showing, you can't really see it very well, but that's the non-repaint there. Let me just, so it's got 2 indicators showing that's bullish divergence there. So wrong one. So that one has potential. And if you want to go with a super trend, it's done okay. And I'm going to show you something. I had one of these super trend alerts go off, but the MFI didn't agree with it, so I set a confirmation alert on the MFI, and it never triggered, and it kept me out of a trade that would have lost. So, you know, these secondary indicators can be useful in that regard. But this one did pretty well, 6%. This one up to 3%, dropped down 3%, then up again after this buy alert went off. And this one just triggered 430, and we don't know yet. So super trend's doing pretty well. It's been doing over 50% in my trading, so I like that. I'm using stop losses now more because I'm reluctant to ladder buy these things and this kind of volatility. So, and the settings I'm using are these here: inputs 5, 3, and HLC3. I don't know if that's the. See if that's. I don't think that's the default. No, it's not. So I lowered the settings for more sensitivity to get more trades. Of course, you risk accuracy when you do that, but you can often get in earlier. And I don't recall where I got the HLC3. That might be from another member or a video I saw. So something I'm testing, I've used for a few weeks. You guys might want to try it yourself. Not financial advice though. Okay, any questions on Didix before we move on to, I think we need to head over to iCoinPro. Or any questions on Altcoin Alert? All right. Okay, I'm on iCoinPro, the home of the 123 dip, and I like their tools, the RSI Spy and the Buddy Coin Crawler. Going to search the RSI Spy, the 1 hour. And the RSI used to be on my chart. I replaced it with the MFI and the stochastic. So I don't use the RSI as much as I used to, but I like this sort. A value of 30 or below indicates that it's oversold in the 1 hour time frame and due for recovery, generally speaking. So when I see a value like this, I want the 30 and below, I want to set an alert, but all these are well above that. We don't have any really even close to 30. So based on this sort, there's really nothing here to long. If we sort it the opposite way, looking for values of 70 and higher, that's something potentially to short. And Serum was one I was looking at this morning. XRP and synthetics are all considered overbought and due to track down again. So if we go to our XRP chart, the 5-minute, we can see we're at the top of the Bollinger Band, but it is starting to squeeze in. On the 1 hour, this is what it's well above the top of the Bollinger Band. So, and the MFI is in the overbought area too, above 80. So momentum's starting to go sideways and trend down. Stochastic might be trending down soon, and the volume here is descending a little bit. So this might be due for a drop. So if you trade leverage, this might be something to short. You can do so with a divergence entry. And one's printing now for this candle here for the RSI and the stochastic. So that might be a good alert to catch. Here's how you do your divergence alert. Negative select detected, just happened to be the one I want. Once per bar close, and this is RSI Spy. And I'm good to go. Sometimes I'll set dual alerts on this because sometimes these don't trigger when I want them to. So I want to take a quick look at my multiple divergences too. See if this one printed here. So what I mean by repainting is on this indicator here, the divergence from any indicators of version 4, it wouldn't surprise me if this stochastic was originally here and then it went away when this kept going up and then it reprinted again after this started to dip a little. So that's why I like this as a backup, the non-repaint one. But I don't like how they do their alerts. If I add an alert on here, unless I'm misreading it, it's asking me to set an alert on the specific number of indicators that trigger. So I don't care for that. All right, let's get out of divergence. Let's look at the super trend. And super trend, SPY alert did not do well. 1.4, not bad. I think it's a good idea, depending on the volatility of the coin. When you get into profit, say by 2% profit, go ahead and put a stop loss in right around break even, just above it. And that's what I like to do. It'll kick you out a few times, but the no risk trade I think is very appealing. And then this buy did really well. This sell did okay. So these alerts are doing pretty well, or these indicators are doing pretty well, and they're getting supported by the other indicators. All these were in support of this. So MFI is up, volume or momentum's up, stochastics crossing on the good side, and volume's up. So yeah, good to go on that one. So on this one, if you want to trade both directions, which I like to do, right click here on super trend, and someone munching over here. Okay, someone's got their hand up, my bad. All right, super trend direction change, and once per bar close. And this is RSI SPY. And good to go. So now multiple alerts on XRP, both divergence and the super trend. Okay, Wavy has a hand up.
Just wanted to check how things are looking in 4 hours time frame.
In which one?
4 hours.
4 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't look at the 4 hour. I'm primarily doing day trading. So usually the 1 hour is the longest I'll look at, but
Okay, I thought that there is some sort of a divergence happening in 4 hours. So it's like price is still trending down, but I see like stochastics, RSI kind of trending up
okay.
in general.
All right, let's check it out. On the 4 hour chart on XRP. And let's turn the super trend off. Got a bullish divergence that did print 9 o'clock last night. And that looks like it worked out pretty well. You know, we're up.
So I'm wondering if it'll go to the top of the Bollinger Band. Should we still wait till it goes to the top in 4 hour and then work on the 1 hour time frame, or is it like
That's
still a good time?
it's a 36% move, dude. That's pretty aggressive. Again, not how I really trade, but yeah, if you have the patience to wait that long and it makes that move, then go for it. But again, this isn't a time frame I use very often. I used to look at the day, sometimes the 8 and the 4 hour, to get a history of the coin back in the bull market when I was looking for retraces, but everything's beaten down over 50% just about, so I don't even need to do that anymore. But yeah, if you're more of a longer term swing trader, you can use divergence and super trend and things like that on longer time frames.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot of time to sit and do it, like, so I have to swing trade. I have a day job, so it's like
Yeah,
this is easier for me. Even if I miss out, I can just wait for the next trend and then like plan it.
that's how you do it. So yeah, again, some of the stuff I'm showing you on the 5 and the 15-minute chart wouldn't really apply to you, but the hour and the 4 hour definitely for longer term swings. Okay, but since I don't trade that way, I don't talk about it because I don't feel like I know enough about it, but yeah. Okay, any other questions on XRP? Okay, let's look at, we looked at RSI SPY. The other one I like is Well, we're doing better than I thought on time, so we got time for another one. Let's look at Serum. And
Serum has gotten delisted on a lot of exchanges.
yeah, it's on Bybit though.
Oh, they're having a
And
very big problem with SBF thing.
hmm,
They're
There was
associated
an
with them, and then all SBF related coins are down. They're telling it's gonna go to zero, all of them.
I
I don't know
didn't.
if that's true, but yeah, sorry. Yeah, I just thought I'd
Bybit
tell
is
that.
going to delist Serum. They put a notice up.
Actually, I still have it open on my chart
They
over
had a
here.
notice that if you're in Serum, you should get out of it.
Yeah, I was just day trading it today. I don't think I actually did a trade because I didn't see anything I liked at the time, but I've had the window open on Bybit, and I'm talking about something I'm not showing you, which is a little rude, but you're right. It just got an announcement when I refreshed. So
Yeah,
delisting.
I think it's safe to just stay out of Solana even, right? Because it's, even though it's used so much, it is still seem to be associated with SPF and FTX, right? So
Yeah, I think they
people are
owned a lot of
adjusting.
it. That was part of their
They were
their
backing it
holdings.
as a replacement for other layer one protocols like Bitcoin, Ethereum. I don't know the details, but I know he was backing it big time.
Yeah, it's down to 14. Brutal. I got a small bag of this. It's not doing well. So, hey, okay. Well, let's not trade Serum, and let's see what else we can. What's the other one that we had on here on RSI Spy? And a lot of times, since I trade mostly on leverage, I'm not all that concerned with the direction that either Altcoin Alert or iCoinPro is showing me. I just want to know if it's moving, if it's in play. And so that's what some of this information will give me. So, something like this that's considered overbought, well, it might keep going up. So I'll trade it both directions. That's what I like to do. And when we looked at XRP already, we're not going to look at Serum. And synthetics just dropped out. We'll check out that one. Is that related to SBF and FTX?
When you're trading in both directions, are you putting like stop losses on
Yeah.
both of those then?
Yeah. So, and I'll do that with the super trend usually. So I'll buy here if this alert goes off and the others are supporting it, which they are. The MFI is trending up, momentum's trending up, stochastics crossed, and volume is a negative, but it's trending up. So I'd probably get in here. It goes up 3% in an hour. I'd probably move my stop loss up into break even and maybe even like 1.5 or 2%. And then it would drop and take me out, which is unfortunate because then it goes up 6%. So that's the downside of that, very, very safe conservative strategy.
So are you like putting in a buy and then maintaining it until there's a sell?
No, and here's why, because that can work if there's a huge move, but most of the moves aren't huge. See, it drops all the way down. So this sell wouldn't trigger on my alert till here, and it's break even. But over here it's up 2%, and over here it's up 5.5%. So yeah, by the time this triggers, it's going to lose most of the move that it made, unless it's huge. You can. This one's pretty good size. You're down to 7%, but this is going to trigger probably right about here. You're going to lose half of it. But 3.65% on say 5x or 10x leverage is still a really good day trade. So this one, Not sure if I would have taken this. 6:45 is kind of early for me. I'm awake then, but I'm doing other stuff. I usually don't start trading until about 7:30 or 8. So I probably wouldn't have seen that one, but this one. But it does, it's not, see the MFI is dropping down. You know, really nothing's supporting this. Everything's down after with this buy triggers. So when that happens, I'll use either the MFI or usually the stochastic, put an alert on here, what I call a confirmation alert. And then when it starts to trend up, which it does right about here, you know, get in there. Even though my entry's not quite as good, I feel better about it. Then, you know, catch a big move. All right. And then on divergence, bearish did okay. Bullish, not so much. Maybe stay in that all day, pick up 3%, not bad. This one did really well. Little dip and then. But bear in mind if you're, what you can do if you get in right where you see the alert on divergence, most of the indicators going to be going against you because you're catching the dip early. That's what divergence is for. But if it's wrong, then you know you'll probably get stopped out or have to ladder buy. So like here, the MFI ticked up a little bit, but momentum's down. Stochastic's kind of sideways, as is the volume. So I'd probably look for better confirmation than that. Okay, any questions on NSNX? Okay. Let's look at the Buddy coin crawler, which is the other thing I like at iCoinPro. And the average low to SMA, it's one of my favorite sorts. It's going to tell me the average, the low, the 24-hour low to the SMA line, which is that line in between the Bollinger Bands. And that's usually indicative of a coin that's moving. Doesn't really tell me which direction though. I can also sort by the current low to SMA. So some of these, when you get higher values, say over 3%, that's what's moving pretty much right now. So we've already looked at Didex. These two I'm not that familiar with. SXP we just looked at. No, that was SNX. Well, they're getting pretty low here. We're down below 4% on the low to SMA. Voyager, no, thanks. But we'll look at SXP. That's pretty close. And forgot to mention, we do have this drop-down menu here. Click on Trading View, and it'll go to your Trading View account. Or a 5-minute chart, usually on the coin you're selecting. So SXP. Computer's getting slow. All right. Did I freeze there for a moment? Okay, 5-minute. Yeah, we're in the, it is dipping below the Bollinger Band, but pretty squeezy. Don't have a bubble forming yet, but almost 5% between the Bollinger Bands. So that's got potential for a dip sequence. Let's jump over here to the 15-minute. Let's look at divergence. The bullish did well. Yeah, really well there, really well here. And then this one just printed. So we'll see how that one does. We do have a red candle at the moment. So we do have divergence, bullish divergence on XXP right at this moment. So guys might want to consider this one. And the bearish ones did okay as well. Yeah, so all these did pretty well. I'll think about that. Let's look at super trend. Yeah, each one of these did well too. Maybe not this one as much. Yeah, small profit on that, then took off. Yeah, I'm gonna do a super trend signal on this one. Both directions. Once per bar close. That's my buddy coin crawler. I'm good to go for my evening trades. I like to do this sort once in the morning and then again in the evening if I'm available to trade. So I actually use this time on Mondays and Fridays to select coins I'm gonna monitor through the evening. So it's helpful to be the bachelor for such things. Any questions on SXP? Looks like we should wrap this thing up. Okay. Any questions on day trading, swing trading, or the markets overall before we call it a night? All right. Well, if you are watching on the recording, I appreciate that. Please check out the opportunities listed in the comments below. If you're a Carbon member, please hang out a little longer. We're going to go over that shortly. Go ahead and take a short break and be right back. Otherwise, see you next time.